Yes guys, what's going on? Welcome to Adam McKola TV. This is the Weekly United, the place where we wrap up the week in the world of Manchester United, in the week where we have announced our first signing of the summer. Donny van de Beek has came through the entrance door at Old Trafford and arrived in a £35 million deal plus add-ons, and finally we've got our hands on our first signing. We're expecting Manchester United to do a bit more business, and we'll find out about all the rumours that are linking players with moves in and out of Old Trafford this summer as well. In this Weekly United, we have got an action-packed show, and as always, we have daily Manchester United content on Adam McKola TV. So make sure you're hitting that like button, you're commenting, sharing, subscribing, getting all your thoughts on everything that we discussed today, and of course joining if you can as well. But of course, we're here to find out what's been going on in the world of Manchester United this week. So let's get stuck into the Weekly United. Now, obviously, we've done so many videos on Donny van de Beek already, joining Manchester United, and there's a few videos that you can go and check out. The official announcement, the video we did which looked at where he will fit into Manchester United, and a few others as well once we're finished here. But Edwin van der Sar has penned a letter to Manchester United fans following the sale of Donny van de Beek to Manchester United. He is the CEO of Ajax as it stands, and he was involved in the deal to make him a Manchester United player, and he was involved in the sale to Manchester United. And Ajax have been really class with the social media content and everything that they've released around the sale of Donny van de Beek, wishing him good luck. And Edwin van der Sar has chipped in with this letter, and he said, "Dear Manchester United, enjoy the future. #dream like Donny." And in the letter, he said, "Dear Manchester United fans, I hope you're doing well. It seems our paths have crossed again. One of ours is joining you this season, and like so many players before him, he's been with us since he was just a little boy. Shortly after his debut, he became one of our best. Especially the last couple of years, they were amazing. From the Europa League final, no hard feelings, to our Champions League run, and winning the Dutch Championship. The team he was part of showed the world who we are and what Ajax stands for. And like you, we pride ourselves on being one of the best at developing talent and giving young players a shot at the highest level. You could say your new star is the embodiment of that pride. That's one of many reasons we don't like to see him leave, but we understand it's time for him to move on, to dream on. And where better to do so than in your theatre? Trust me, I know. Please take good care of Donny and help him dream. Enjoy the future, Edwin van der Sar." What a great letter from Edwin van der Sar, and I love the bit where he says, "Trust me, I know." Obviously, Edwin van der Sar won everything you could win at Manchester United, and it'd be great if Donny van de Beek could even go halfway as to achieving as much as Edwin van der Sar did. Obviously, a great signing for Manchester United, an absolute bargain, and Ajax have shown great class as the players moved on. A player that could be moving on for Manchester United is Sergio Romero, who's been hotly linked with a move away from the club. A few Premier League clubs have been interested in him as well. We heard about Leeds, we heard about Everton, and in the last couple of weeks we've heard about Aston Villa. Now, first it was reported that we might try and use Sergio Romero in a deal for Jack Grealish, but now we've signed Donny van de Beek, it's unlikely we're going to be moving in the market for Jack Grealish. Now, Aston Villa have shown the most interest in Sergio Romero, and the Argentinian's set to leave Manchester United for £8 to £10 million this summer. That transfer fee was reported by Laurie Whitwell of The Athletic, and obviously it's a decent fee for Manchester United. You'd imagine we could probably get a little bit more for someone like Sergio Romero, but the fact that he's now third choice goalkeeper at Manchester United, he's on a decent wage, over £100,000 per week at Manchester United, and you know, he's going to want to leave. We've heard he was disappointed with the way that he was left out in the Europa League latter stages, and he's been disappointed that there's not been any communication directly between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and himself over the arrival of Dean Henderson back at the club. And it looks like Sergio Romero is destined to leave Manchester United. It's a move that has to happen. If these things are true about a lack of communication, that's a shame. I'm hoping it's just tabloid rubbish. But Sergio Romero's set to leave. And going to Aston Villa, who have just lost Pepe Reina, I'd say that's a huge improvement on Pepe Reina, who, you know, he is a great in terms of, you know, his longevity in the game and stuff like that, but he's not what he was. Sergio Romero, I think, is an improvement and could go a long way to helping Aston Villa stay up. So he'd be well worth the £10 million or whatever it was for them to sign him. It's not a done deal yet, but it looks like Sergio Romero's definitely off from Manchester United. Another player that's definitely off from Manchester United has to be Chris Smalling. Now, we're hearing Roma are making significant progress in the pursuit of Chris Smalling, with the Italian side set to bid £18 million plus bonuses for the Manchester United defender. We've heard United want €20 million plus €5 million bonuses, which would bring the deal to around £22 million. And I think that's a decent fee for Chris Smalling. We bought him for around £12.5 million. When we brought him into the club, he's had a fair few years at Manchester United, some of them very good years, some of them very average, and now it's time for him to move on. I think we could have got more out of a Premier League team. You're looking 20-25 million guaranteed up front, but it's clear he wants to stay in Rome, he wants to stay in Serie A, he wants to stay with AS Roma, and now they've sold Schick, they've got a little bit more money in the bank to be able to make this move happen. And I can see this Sergio Romero and Chris Smalling deals moving quite quickly in terms of them and their departures from Manchester United, because United will then recoup around 20 to 30 million pounds for both of them and be able to reinvest that elsewhere. If you bring in around 25-30 million pounds for those two players, you know, you're covering most of the Donny van der Beek sale, and we've already got the Donny van der Beek purchase, and we've already got Alexis Sanchez off the wage bill. So in terms of balancing the books, almost, it'd be a good start to the summer for United. The weeks and days are ticking by though very quickly, and we need to get all of our business done sharpish. Someone that could be entering that entrance at Manchester United and coming to Old Trafford this summer is Sergio Reguilon. Now, we've seen him in Sevilla. He obviously played for Sevilla this season, but he is a Real Madrid player. And we've heard reports that Manchester United are set to move for the Real Madrid left-back Sergio Reguilon, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looks to bolster his defence after Spanish star's impressive spell with Sevilla. Now, he plays at left-back, obviously a position that you could look at us strengthening in. Luke Shaw has had an injury recently. He's coming back from that injury, but again, there's been a few question marks over him in the last few years, even though he has shown signs of improvement. Brandon Williams could be looking to go over to right back and providing cover there for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We're hearing that Diogo Dalot could potentially be on the move from Manchester United. So Sergio Reguilon could be coming into a position that we do need to strengthen, that left-hand full-back side, and is someone that would fit in with what Manchester United want to do at the club for 20 to 25 million euros as well. Real Madrid, though, do want a buyback option, which I assume would be a stumbling block for Manchester United, because we're not going to want to give Real Madrid the option to be able to buy back one of their players from us after we've spent money on him. So it'd be interesting to see, if we were to make a deal happen, whether that would stick in the deal. I doubt it would. Look, I'm not 100% we either in for him or want to make this move happen, but it's a good player to be linked with, because it's a position we need to strengthen in. I think we're going to get Jadon Sancho, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And I think we're going to get a centre-half, and that's probably it. But if we're going to strengthen anywhere else, left-back's one of those positions that you'd think we could strengthen in if you can get that bonus signing this summer. And Sergio Reguilon would be a great bonus signing. Now, someone that appeared to be kind of like a bonus signing for Manchester United, especially after the Donny van der Beek signature, was Thiago Alcantara. Now, he's been long linked with a move to Liverpool. The stumbling block for Liverpool has been that they couldn't put up the 30 million euros that Bayern Munich wanted. Now, that's an absolute bargain for someone of the quality of Thiago Alcantara. And it looked like Wijnaldum's move to Barcelona is what's holding up this Thiago move to Liverpool. You'd imagine once Barcelona pay the 20 million or whatever it is for Wijnaldum, then Liverpool will invest that into Thiago, and that move will happen very quickly. But in the last couple of weeks, we've heard that Manchester United have been interested and have been discussing things with Thiago's agent, although we haven't made a bid for him directly with Bayern Munich. Now, apparently Solskjaer has talked to Thiago personally, but the wage demands are too high, and he'd have to drop those wage demands for Manchester United to go back in for him. So it looks like to me that this Thiago Alcantara one is done, really. I'm sure if he wanted to come to Manchester United, he would probably lower those wage demands. But maybe he was thinking, can I get a ridiculous wage elsewhere while I'm waiting for this Liverpool move to happen? And kind of trying to test the waters, because to me it just does look like we're waiting for Wijnaldum to go to Barcelona, Thiago to go to Liverpool, and then that will be done. I don't know why Barcelona don't just go back in for Thiago Alcantara, but to be honest, but that's how it looks to me. So I wouldn't read too much into this. And obviously, if the wage demands are too high, you'd imagine United won't be going back in for him, as we saw with Paulo Dybala last year. Now, Dean Henderson's been speaking this week. Obviously, he's back in the fray at Manchester United, and he's been coming out with some fighting words for David De Gea, saying that he's not here to be number 2. He's here to be number 1. He's here to fight for that first team spot. And while he has all the respect for David De Gea, ultimately he wants his position in the team. And it's great to hear that kind of challenging coming from Dean Henderson. Now, obviously, I think David De Gea's kind of, yes, we've had a great backup in Sergio Romero, but Sergio Romero never wanted to be number 1 for Man United. Like, he was never hungry for it. Dean Henderson's coming in and he's hungry for that number 1 shirt. And that should keep David De Gea on his toes. And he's either going to sink or swim from that. I think that we're going to see a much improved David De Gea this season because of this challenge coming from Dean Henderson. But it's great to hear fighting words like that coming from him. You're adding Donny van der Beek into the squad. You're adding Dean Henderson into the squad. You're adding players that are here to improve, that are here to fight for a first 11 spot. They're not here to just sit on the bench and make up the numbers and happy to be involved. They want to do things with their careers. And bringing in those kind of talents and those kind of personalities into the team can only be good when your second choice goalkeepers Dean Henderson and your second choice number 8 or 10 is Donny van der Beek, even though I do think he can play with Pogba and Bruno in some games as well in a 4-2-3-1. But when you've got van der Beek that can come in for Bruno or Pogba, your second, your strength in depth is so much stronger than what it was. And we need to keep improving that because we still haven't plugged all the gaps in the squad. But great to hear this coming from Dean Henderson. Now, something that wasn't great to hear this week, obviously we've seen Mason Greenwood in England training, and here he is with Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish looking happy. It needed Rashford to come out with injury for Jack Grealish to be called up, which I thought was ridiculous in the first place. It should have been one of the first names on the England manager's squad list. But Mason Greenwood was called up and he was put in front of the press, which I found quite funny considering United have done well to protect Mason Greenwood from the press and we've not put him out there too often. And he gets put in front of the press by England. All right, fair enough. He's at St George's Park. He's in a press conference. It's on Zoom, whatever. But then you get dickhead journalists like the one that asked, the next question is a difficult one. If you know it's a difficult one, why are you asking him? He says, obviously I have to ask you about your Man United teammate and captain, Harry Maguire, who has been dropped from the squad. Your first squad to have been called up for very high profile reasons. You know him well. What do you make of what's happened to him? Why are you asking a kid that's 18 years old? He's had his first call up to the England team and you're souring his first press conference with questions about his club captain that's been up to mischief on holiday and has been, in court and also, like, why are you even bringing that to a young kid? And I'm guessing this journalist is a grown man. And he's there asking not a little kid, he's 18 years old, but you know what I mean? Like, what goes through your head? I don't understand what these guys are on, to be honest. Like, there's so many more questions that you can ask Mason Greenwood. Look at him, he's one of the best talents in world football. He's making his England debut and you're asking him about Harry Maguire. And to be fair to Mason Greenwood, his response was pretty professional. He's obviously been well media trained by Man United and said it's really not for me to say. I'm just looking forward to seeing him back in the squad. But what a dickhead journalist. I know there's a lot of them, but fucking hell. There's no need for that. And England should probably think, like, what have we got to earn by putting him in front of the press? There's so many players that have made their first appearance this week that you could have put in front of the press that are a little bit more experienced. And there you go, wheeling Mason Greenwood out. Stinks. As always on the Weekly United, you get an update about Jadon Sancho now. The Mail Online, Mail Sport, yes I know, they're trash, are saying United had to finalise the salary and fees of Jadon Sancho's agent before preparing an £108 million bid. Now, this is baloney. This is just the Mail dragging more and more out of this story. We've already heard from reliable sources like Fabrizio Romano, like Christian Folk, that Manchester United have already agreed terms on a 5-year deal worth 250 grand a week with Jadon Sancho and his agents. It's not personal terms that are holding this deal up. It's Manchester United paying the 120 million euros in whatever manner, in however many instalments. That is the issue here. Pay that 108 million pounds. Jadon Sancho's our player. These guys are just getting more clicks and more stories out there about Jadon Sancho whilst it's gone quiet, because it has gone very quiet, and that could mean, it's the calm before the storm before this one happens. We've made one of our deals happen. I imagine we're going to make 3 signings. Any more than that's a bonus. Jadon Sancho is expected to be one of those signings, and then that would leave us with a centre-back left to do. So, I think we could be about to heat up really with this Jadon Sancho deal, but this ain't it from the Mail. This ain't it at all. Anyway, guys, let us know what you lot are thinking about everything we've discussed today. Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood in the England team, Dean Henderson, David De Gea, Thiago Alcantara, Sergio Reguilon, Chris Smalling, Sergio Romero, and of course, Donny van der Beek and Edwin van der Sar's letter. Let us know what you're thinking about all of that. Get your comments in the comments below. This has been the Weekly United. Make sure you're keeping it locked by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. And for now, I've been Adam McKola. I'm out of here.